Can the New York Jets somehow, some way remain competitive on Sunday in their matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals? That's what we're talking about. Time to preview the Bengals 5-2 at the New York Jets 1-5. Hello, everybody. My name is Jake Asman. This is the Jake Asman Show. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Smash that subscribe button on the right-hand side of your screen. Like this video by clicking the thumbs up icon at the bottom of your screen and comment your thoughts afterwards. Today, I mentioned it, we're talking about the Jets and the Bengals. And man, it seems crazy, but if the season were to end right now, the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-2 would be the number one seed in the AFC. And that's where I want to start in this video. Sometimes you have to be patient with a coaching staff. You have to be patient with a new regime. And the Cincinnati Bengals are a great example of that. Zach Taylor has been on the hot seat these last couple of years. His first year with the Bengals, they won 2 games. His second year, they won 4 games. And now this is a Bengals team with a coach in his third year who has a healthy Joe Burrow leading the way. This is a Bengals team that's 5-2 with some quality wins over some really good teams, including a thrilling dismantling of the Baltimore Ravens last week. So the Bengals are good. This is not the same old Bengals. They are a team that is led by their quarterback, obviously, but their weaponry that they've surrounded Joe Burrow with. Jamar Chase is clearly the favorite right now to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. T. Higgins is really good. Tyler Boyd is great as well. They got a really good trio of wide receivers. They got a really good tight end. They got a good running back in Joe Mixon. This is a Cincinnati Bengals offense that ranks 5th in air yards per completion, 2nd in yards after the catch, and 7th in yards after contact on rushing attempts. This is also a Bengals team that is a top 10 defense right now. The Bengals rank 5th in points allowed and 10th in yards allowed. So this is a really good team that the Jets are getting. And then obviously, for the New York Jets, it's going to be Mike White making his starting debut for this team on Sunday. So the question people want to know is, can the Jets compete? To me, I'd be shocked if they actually won this game. Now, bigger upsets have happened, obviously, but let's be real. The Jets are going to have a tough time trying to win this game on Sunday. Now, what they can do, though, is they cannot get embarrassed. And this is a big game for Robert Saleh and this coaching staff. You had Woody Johnson come out earlier in the week and said he has unwavering, steadfast confidence in Douglas and Saleh. Well, the key thing here with Robert Saleh is you had a bye week 2 weeks ago. You saw a Patriots team you already played, and they embarrassed you. They ran up the score on you. They put 50-plus points on you. What type of response do we get from this coaching staff? Are the Jets ready to come out and play? Are the Jets defensively going to go out there and make some plays? No one is expecting this Jets team to go out there and put up a bunch of points with Mike White at quarterback. No one is expecting this Jets team to have a chance to win this game. But can the Jets not get embarrassed? Can they go out there and put some damn effort out there on the field? Can this pass rush get home and maybe force, Joe Burrow into some bad decisions? Can they go out there and maybe get their first interception all season long? John Franklin Myers got the big contract. He's done nothing these past 2 games. Could we see a big game from Quinnen Williams? Who are the guys that are going to step up on this defense and go out there and say what happened last week against New England is not going to happen again? We all understand the Jets are going to be limited on offense with Mike White starting, but this defense has no excuse. They got to go out there and they got to compete. They got to keep this Jets team in the game. I mean, the Jets are 10.5-point underdogs in this game. It's the NFL. Find a way, play hard, and find a way to make this game competitive into the second half. If they do that, I think we could live with losing this game because we all understand the odds are stacked against the Jets. But there's no excuse, even without your starting quarterback and Zach Wilson, to get embarrassed in this game. There's no excuse to get blown out. There's no excuse for this game to be over after, after the first quarter like it was last week. There's no excuse for this Jets defense to allow 31 first half points like they did last week. I'm not expecting the Jets to win, but I am expecting this coaching staff to put this team in a much better position to remain competitive, to compete. Mike White might not be great, but I'll tell you what, he wasn't horrendous last week against New England. He did have the 2 interceptions, but at least they moved the ball. I mean, it wasn't like Luke Falk was playing quarterback for the Jets last week. We all remember the disastrous Luke Falk cameo in 2019 after both Sam Darnold was out with mono and then Trevor Siemian broke his leg against the Browns in week 2. So I think Mike White, who has been in the system now for a while, who's a guy that the coaching staff seemingly believes in, I think the Jets can move the ball. Maybe they can even run the ball. Now, it's worth noting that Mike White's not going to have Corey Davis out there to throw the ball to. Corey Davis seems unlikely to play. He's dealing with a hip injury that he suffered during Thursday's practice. So not great. But you know what this means? More reps for Denzel Mims and maybe more opportunities for Elijah Moore. Get those guys involved. Let's see some creativity by this coaching staff. Hey, Mike LaFleur, you watched your brother Matt LaFleur on Thursday Night Football go out there without the Packers' 3 best wide receivers and find a way to get it done by running the ball, creative play calling, and putting Aaron Rodgers in a position to succeed. No one's expecting Mike White to be Aaron Rodgers, but how about put your quarterback in a spot to get some easy completions, keep the chains moving, run the ball, keep Joe Burrow on the sidelines? That's what we want to see. The bar for this Jets team going into the year was low. I wasn't even talking about wins or losses. We just wanted to see this team not get embarrassed and show some progress. Even without Zach Wilson, you're at home. You should be able to show up and compete against the Bengals team that we all could acknowledge is very good. But maybe the Bengals overlook the Jets, right? The Cincinnati Bengals are good, but maybe they're due for a letdown, right? They had this great win against the Ravens. Maybe the Cincinnati Bengals are looking ahead to the rest of the season here, right? Maybe they're not going to be practicing as hard this week, getting set for the Jets, knowing full well they got the Cleveland Browns next week in a big divisional game. So maybe you catch this team sleeping for a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to win, but maybe you can compete. This is a big game for the Jets coaching staff. It's a big game for Robert Saleh. He was angry after that Patriots game, as he should be. He was cursing in that press conference after the game. As you know what? He should be. He should be angry. He should be fired up. I want to see this team come out there and play hard, compete, find a way to not get embarrassed, show some pride. Like if you're the Jets ownership, if you're Woody Johnson, Chris Johnson, like how do you not come out and say what happened last week was pathetic, embarrassing, fix it? I don't care if Zach Wilson's not playing. It's not an excuse for this Jets defense to be embarrassed. They had been pretty good up until the London game where they were bad. And then last week was just an absolute debacle against the New England Patriots. So I want to see this Jets team bounce back, play hard, and keep them in the game. CJ Mosley is expecting to play, so you can't use that as an excuse. Jared Davis is expected to make his Jets debut, so the Jets are actually going to be getting some linebacker depth back, and maybe Davis could come in and provide a spark for this team. But look, the reality is if the Jets are going to have a chance in this game, they're going to have to try and limit some of the explosive plays that the Bengals are going to have. I mean, we know what Burrow has done with Chase, but this is a Bengals offense that's basically, statistically speaking, top 10 in every major passing attack. Burrow, first in yards per completion, fifth in completion percentage, seventh in total passing yards, and fourth in passing touchdowns. He's had a phenomenal sophomore season. He's taken that next step as you would expect a guy who was first overall to do. So no one's saying the Jets need to win the game, but they do need to go out there and they need to compete. They need to find a way to not get smoked, not get embarrassed. This fan base deserves better. The Jets are at home. This Jet fan base will be out there. They will. They'll be supporting this team. Go out there and give them a real effort. If the Jets are somehow in this game in the fourth quarter, I could live with the result. The Jets are playing hard and they're making plays on defense. And maybe the ball could, be moving up and down the field because they're running the ball better. Or, you're getting Mike White in a position to get Elijah Moore involved and Denzel Mims involved. I could live with losing. I could even live with the Jets not covering the spread if they're in the game till late. Like I could live with that. I cannot live with what we saw against the Patriots again. I don't care if it's Zach Wilson, Mike White, Joe Namath playing quarterback for the Jets. The effort that we got top to bottom from the defense was, to me, the most disappointing thing we have seen in a long time as Jets fans. So that's what I want to see in this game on Sunday. Go out there and compete. Like, let's see this team show some pride after they were absolutely embarrassed by the New England Patriots during this past game on Sunday. I think that is not asking too much from this Jets team to go out there and give you some effort. Go out there and not get embarrassed. So that's what I would like to see. I think that's what we all would like to see. The example I'll use is this. Go look at the Detroit Lions. Yes, they don't have a win. They're 0-7. But they were 16.5-point underdogs last week in LA against Matt Stafford and the Rams. And Dan Campbell had his team ready to go. They went for it on fourth down. They faked punts. They onside kicked. They did everything to try and find a way to compete. And not only did they cover the spread, they had a legitimate chance at the end of that game to actually win. Am I saying the Jets are going to have a legitimate chance to win at the end of this game? Probably not. But it would be nice to see that type of that type of approach from this coaching staff for this game on Sunday. You have nothing to lose. Be aggressive on fourth down. Go out there and run a fake punt, run a trick play. Do something to spark this offense. The Patriots went out there in their opening drive last week and ran a trick play that led to a touchdown. Do something like that if you're the Jets, if you're Mike LaFleur. You're obviously outmatched from a talent perspective, but you're at home. You're going to have to be creative. Do what the Patriots did last week to you, or just look at what the Lions did, getting everyone to buy in and think they have a legitimate chance to pull off an upset. Like Robert Saleh prides himself on being like a rah-rah guy. So this team better be up for the challenge and go out there and compete. We know how good of a team the Bengals are, but use the Lions as an example. They had a chance to win that game last week as almost a 17-point underdog. That's what I want to see from this Jets team. Show some pride, show some progress. Let's not treat these games without Zach Wilson like it's the games with Luke Falk at quarterback where you're going to get blown out every week. It's the NFL. Find a way to make this game closer than what many people expect it to be. With that being said, a lot of comments I see coming in. If you have a question on this game or the state of the Jets, you could submit those right now, and we will answer a couple of those questions right now. Thanks so much to everyone, as always, who takes time to watch any of these videos. Vinny and the Jets, can we adjust ownership? Well, you can't fire the owners, Vinny, and that's unfortunate. So we are stuck with this team right now, and we shall see how it plays out. Let's see. Curious to see if White could move the offense and what the play calling will be. Robbie, I think White showed last week he can move the offense a little bit. I actually didn't think he was as bad as I thought he was going to be when he came in for Zach Wilson. But now the Bengals had a week to prepare for him. Watch back that tape. So Mike White, let's see what he can do. He's been waiting for his opportunity. He has said all the right things this week when he spoke to the media. Maybe he could prove us wrong and be better than what we think he is. To me, this game will come down to, can the Jets defenses keep them in it? Can they force a turnover? Can they get something on special teams to spark this team? They got to have a similar blueprint to what happened last week in that Lions and Rams game. Can the NFL take ownership from the Jets? Mike, they cannot, but wouldn't that be nice? I feel your pain there. Let's see. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Jets will not beat the Bengals. Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think the Jets are going to win this game, but can they go out there and be competitive? I mean, that's the bar. Can they go out there and compete? I mean, my God. What else do we have here? Mixon said he's not sleeping on the Jets, even though he should. I don't know if he actually said that or that's a joke motivated team, but they could say that, but there's a difference if they're just saying that to say it, or maybe they're actually not as preparing as hard as they normally would because, well, they look at the Jets as a team without their starting quarterback that they should easily beat. So we shall see. Evil Skittles writes in, that's all we could ask for is not to get our doors blown off. The bar is low. Go out there and find a way to just not get embarrassed. I mean, come on. Proyecta Imprendo writes in, Can the Jets go in through a little incoherent comment here, but I'll make do. Can the Jets go through the same process that the Bengals went through? We can only hope. The Bengals took Joe Burrow in the draft in 2020. He got hurt last year, but was playing pretty well before the injury. He's come back this year, even better. They went out there and they added key pieces to both sides of the ball, got him some real weapons. And Zach Taylor, now in his third year, seemingly has adjusted to being an NFL head coach. So I think the reality is, if the Bengals can turn things around, if the Browns can turn things around, the New York Jets can turn things around as well. We just have to hope that Saleh is the right coach for this team and that Joe Douglas is the right GM for this team. I like some of what Douglas has done. There are some things we could criticize him for, but he still needs much more time. He's got the draft capital. We got to see how that plays out. And Saleh, look, we're 6 games in, so this guy needs certainly more time to be a coach. Kyle Shanahan started 0-7 when he was an NFL head coach as well. Zach Taylor, I mentioned it, his first 2 years, every Bengals fan wanted them out of town. Now the Bengals are 5-2 and have the best record right now in the AFC. They'd be the 1 seed. So the reality is, if the Jets could actually do what the Bengals have done, then they'll be in some pretty good shape. Gary writes in, Could we get some emotion from Saleh? I understand his stoic approach is admirable, but he has to read the room and understand we had this with Bowles. We've seen some emotion from Saleh at times, not as much as when he was the defensive coordinator for the Niners. I think we saw anger and real emotion from Saleh if you watched any of his post-game press conference from Sunday. Yeah, look, the Jets got to come out angry. Like, if you, there are a bunch of professional athletes on that team. If you're not fired up, if you're not angry after you were embarrassed last week, then you shouldn't be playing in the NFL. So if the effort level, the compete level from the Jets is not better in this game on Sunday, we got major problems long term about what this coaching staff is. No one's saying the Jets got to win the game, but they got to go out there and not get embarrassed because that was just an absolute joke. If Mims doesn't get much playing time with Corey Davis out, I think that show the staff is not a fan of him. Look, if Denzel Mims can't play with Corey Davis out and plays the same wide receiver position, then forget the Denzel Mims thing. I mean, I will give up if Mims is not on the field more than what we saw last week. Denzel Mims didn't get his first catch until 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter last week. Let's go out there and let's see. Let's see Denzel Mims get the ball thrown to him, get more involved. The one reason why I like the Joe Flacco trade is Joe Flacco threw the ball to Denzel Mims all the time when Joe Flacco started 4 games for the Jets last season. That was like one of the few things we noticed. Like Flacco would go to Mims. It was nice. Let's see that in this game on Sunday with Mike White throwing the ball to Denzel Mims. The good news is Denzel Mims has been playing with the twos in practice for most of the season, right? He doesn't get a ton of reps with the starters, as we know. Mike White's the backup, so he throws the Mims all the time on the second unit. So this will be great. Let's see Denzel Mims get the ball thrown to him and make some plays. Maybe that could be a bright spot that we're talking about with this game on Sunday. Terry writes in, I watched back the Jets-Pats game, and the offense looked much better with White than Wilson. Maybe White's not as bad as people make him out to be. Look, Wilson needed more time in that game for us to definitively say what the offense was going to be. He had that one really good throw, and then, well, the injury comes after the bomb down the field, drawing the passing interference. Terry, the question I have for you, though, is why the hell did you watch back Jets-Pats? I mean, do you enjoy pain? Do you enjoy torture? Do you enjoy just watching things that most people can't stomach? I mean, it was bad enough I had to watch that game live. You will not find me rewatching that debacle because that's what that was. That was an absolute debacle. Let's see. Anthony writes in. Anthony's a clown, but I want to acknowledge him here in the video. He thinks that because I live in Houston, I can't give accurate breakdowns about the New York Jets, as if I didn't grow up a diehard Jets fan my whole life, as if I'm not from Long Island, New York, growing up, going to Hofstra every summer, going to Jets training camp. But yes, because I live in Houston, apparently I can't talk about the Jets. So Anthony, thanks for watching the video and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you, sir. White is going to be our TB12. Probably not, but wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, Robbie Oak, that ain't happening. I'll tell you what, though, if Mike White could go out there and win this game on Sunday, he's going to have, a long career in the NFL as a backup, or maybe one day he'll get a chance to start for someone. It's not going to be the Jets, but wouldn't that be cool? Peter writes in, can we get rid of the green helmets? Nothing good has happened with them. I mean, whether it's green or white, in the last 10 years, the Jets have had 2 different types of helmets, and they haven't made the playoffs anyway. So I do not think it truly matters. Let's see. Any chance Flacco plays this week if White is stinking up the place? No, Joe Flacco is going to be inactive for this game on Sunday. He didn't report to practice until earlier today. He's wearing number 19, by the way. So he wore 5 with the Jets last year. He's wearing number 19 this time around. So I will say this. The earliest we'd see Flacco is potentially on Thursday night against the Indianapolis Colts if Mike White goes out there and is not good in this game or just doesn't show you anything. If he's okay and the Jets don't get embarrassed, I think it's way more likely that we see Mike White, play again on Thursday than the Jets go to Flacco. So we shall see. Mims will start, but I guarantee he only gets 2 targets. LaFraud is clueless. Motivated T, I would hope that we see way more from Denzel Mims in this game on Sunday. I mean, come on. Do you see Zach benefiting with the presence of Joe Flacco? Look, Joe Flacco should have been here, or someone like Joe Flacco should have been here from the very beginning. That's why it was very frustrating to see the Flacco move. I'm not against it, but it just screams to the, well, why the heck wasn't there a veteran backup on this team going into the year? It never made any sense. You have a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback. How do you not have somebody there that could help Zach? The one thing Mike McCagnon did right as a GM, one of the few things he did right, is when Sam Darnold was a rookie, he got him Josh McCown to mentor him. He got him Josh McCown to be there and help him. That was smart. I don't know if that, was the reason why Sam maybe played well towards the end of his rookie year, but it doesn't hurt having that sounding board there, a guy that's been there, done that. So not having a veteran quarterback going into the season is a really fair criticism of where this Jets team is at right now. I'm glad Flacco's here, but I mean, my God. Asman writes in, what's up, Jake? I'm with you here. Jets should show some professionalism and pride. Kind of looking forward to the trade deadline. Anything you have to say about it? Well, here's the thing with the deadline. If you could get anything of significance for Jamison Crowder or Marcus May, I'd be all for it. I don't think the Jets are going to get as much as what people might think they might get for Marcus May. If you could get a 4th-round pick for May, I would trade him. 3rd-round pick, hell yeah. I don't know if you're getting much more. I also don't know if it's worth trading Marcus May, let's say, for like a 5th or a 6th-round pick. Like, I think it sends the wrong message to have a fire sale yet again. I would get it if, Adam Gase was here and it looks like, the regime is going to change with a new quarterback coming in, new coaching staff. But these guys are here for the long term, or at least the Jet fan hopes, right? We hope it works out for Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas and Zach Wilson at quarterback. So I wouldn't go into full fire sale mode unless the offer is too good to pass up. Like if you're getting a 3rd or a 4th-round pick for May, I would do it. Jamison Crowder, I believe, has some value. If you can get a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th-round pick, I would seriously consider that because I don't think either guy's on the team in 2021. So I'd be all for it. And the thing with Crowder, you could then play Elijah Moore way more in the slot, which is what he did so well at Ole Miss. So I'd be okay with trading either one of those guys, but I'm not just giving them away. I don't think it's worth it when you already have so many picks. Like, yeah, it's great to have more and more picks. I understand that, but I just don't know if you want to go to full fire sale mode if the return is only like mid-round picks. If you can get a 2nd or a 3rd for any of these guys, I'm all for it. I don't think, based on what I've been told, based on just checking in with different people, it just doesn't sound like that seems to be too realistic right now. And Peter Teixeira writes in, Crowder was a free agent who had 0 offers. Crowder was not a free agent. The Jets redid his contract. So that's one thing. But I don't think we're going to see Jamison Crowder go for much. So I would expect the Jets to have a bit of a quiet deadline. If they could get something for either of those guys that we would deem significant enough, I'd be all for it. But, I mean, my goodness. Jeff writes in, new to NFL fandom, been watching Jets games, then watched the Cardinals-Packers game. Talk about a different level of intensity and effort. I get the Jets are bad, but they are also flat. Look, the Jets were flat on Sunday, to put it lightly. There's no doubt, though, but the Cardinals and Packers are two of the best teams in the NFL. You had one team that was 7-0. The other team is 6-1 and has a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. So comparing the Jets to either one of those teams, I mean, it's just not realistic. But as far as your point on the Jets being flat, yeah, they were flat. They were just embarrassed on Sunday. And if they don't show some pride and come out with some passion and play hard from the opening snap on Sunday, then we got major problems, big picture, with this coaching staff. Let's see. Let's end with Jeff's comment here about the score prediction. Score prediction for this week. I will say, I'll say Bengals 27, Jets 13. I'll go with that for a score prediction. I have a tough time seeing the Jets putting up a ton of points with Mike White at quarterback. I do think the defense will keep them in this game for a little bit, but I have a tough time envisioning a Jets win. I'm looking to see some of the young guys play better, and I'm looking to see, Denzel Mims get involved, Elijah Moore get involved, and I'm just looking to see the effort we need to see top to bottom from this team. This is a big game, as I talked about at the top of this video, for this coaching staff. That's what we got to see. We got to see some guys show some pride. We got to see this team bounce back. No one's expecting them to win with Mike White, but don't get embarrassed. I mean, the bar is so low rooting for this team. Don't get embarrassed. That's all we're asking for. I want to thank everyone who took time to watch this video. If you're new, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button on the right-hand side of your screen. You also can help me out by liking this video down below. You could do that by clicking the thumbs up icon on the bottom of your screen. Thanks again to everyone who took time to watch. And if you're watching after the fact, comment your prediction for Sunday. Do you think the Jets have a chance to compete with the Cincinnati Bengals? I want to end the video by saying go Knicks, because the Knicks are actually a winning team in New York, and it's nice to be 4-1, baby. Knicks, the 1 seed in the NBA's Eastern Conference right now. Keep that in mind. It's early, but let's enjoy it while we have it. Thanks to everyone who took time to watch this video. My name is Jake Asman. This is the Jake Asman Show. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll talk to you soon with more videos coming to this channel each and every day. See you later.